Hello, everybody. My name is Anissa Fletcher, and this is my final timeline video for STEM 185. Here's an overview of what I would be covering in this video. As you can see, I will be talking about one event from ancient history, scientific revolution, industrial revolutions, second scientific revolution, and information and space ages. 3000 BC through 500 AD is what we consider ancient history. For this time frame, I decided to talk about the alarm clock, mainly because the alarm clock is something that we all use in our everyday lives every morning, whether we're pressing the snooze button or we're jumping up because maybe it didn't go off to wake us up in the morning. As you can see from the pictures in the slides, the sundials were the initial first clocks. They operated by using the sun's shadow to determine what time of the day it was, depending on the sun's location. The first alarm clock was made in 250 BC by an inventor named Thespius. Thespius accomplished this by attaching a mechanical device to his water clock that dropped pebbles onto an instrument when the water hit a certain flow. The picture shown in the middle is a reconstructed version of Thespius's first water clock. After ancient history, we have the scientific revolution. For this time frame, I decided to talk about the telescope that was made in 1608 by Hans Lippershey, who was a Dutch lens maker that is noted to be the first person to patent his invention of the telescope. His version increased objects up to 3 times larger. However, in 1609, Galilei designed his own version with improvements that magnified objects 20 times the size. With those improvements, he was able to discover the rings around Saturn and Jupiter's 3 moons, to name just a few discoveries. Next, we'll cover Industrial Revolution's time frame from 1700s to 1800s. For this timeline, I decided to go over the stethoscope. The stethoscope was invented by a French physician whose name I cannot pronounce. However, since you guys are looking at the slide with me, we'll just call him Dr. L for now. This instrument that Dr. L invented was used to study the sounds of the heart and lungs. And although that this time frame is considered the Industrial Revolution, the stethoscope revolutionized important health practices that are still utilized today in medicine. Through this invention, many known pulmonary conditions were able to be studied and diagnosed. Next up on the timeline, we're going to cover the rise of the university, aka the second scientific revolution that went through the years 1900 through the 2000s. For this time frame, I decided to talk about penicillin, mainly because the discovery of penicillin really intrigued me. Dr. Alexander Fleming was a Scottish bacteriologist who initially discovered penicillin. After noticing a petri dish he had left when he went on vacation or something like that, and he came back and realized the petri dish developed mold on the bacteria that was in the dish. He noticed that the mold produced a defensive chemical that could kill the bacteria. He later named that defensive chemical penicillin. After years of trials and testing with researchers, Fleming's crew failed to purify the penicillin for clinical use. During World War II, penicillin was able to be put to use thanks to the continued research by a team of scientists out of the University of Oxford. To this day, penicillin is the most widely utilized antibiotic agent. The reason why this was so interesting to me is because I thought to myself, who would think to see mold and bacteria and say, this can cure something? But maybe that's just my brain, though. Last but certainly not least, we have the information and space ages. The first personal computer was invented in 1970 by John Blankenbaker. The computer itself was named the Kenbach-1 and was designed before microprocessors were invented. In 1973, the title for the first personal computer with a microprocessor went to a company named the Micro. Both of these innovations helped to begin the journey and advancements of personal computers used today. This concludes my assignment video, and I hope you all enjoyed it. And I hope everything that I went over was easy to understand and that it helped you all understand more about the history of all of these inventions that you see here on the last slide. The alarm clock, the stethoscope, the telescope, the computer, and penicillin all still play a major part in our everyday lives today, whether we know it or not.